All right, we got some missions to do today. So last time around, we had a new quest pop up called Ministin's Call for Help. This is a moderate face-off. And let's see, we haven't actually accepted it yet, but scouts have discovered a large group of a Necron dynasty and are requesting our assistance in a face-off. So we need to accept this in the next day or so, otherwise we'll lose it. I don't love any of the rewards, if I'm being honest. The Death Guard helmet's kind of out of the question, so we'll probably go with the first one. Gold is obviously potentially useful, and it's hard to come by as well. So I think for that reason alone, it's probably worth going this route. And then at least the miniguns, we might be able to put to use, or we could sell, or we can break them down for parts so they're not entirely worthless. Obviously the helmet is heretical, so we can't put our hands on that. We wouldn't be right to break it down to use for parts either, because those parts would also be tainted. So really the uranium is the only thing we would get out of that, and I feel like uranium's easier to come by than gold, so let's accept that. And we have 18 days to deploy, but I might want to deploy now rather than later, just because, you know, we're not doing anything at the moment. There has been some progress on the base development. So we have 2 barracks zones done. People have already moved into the one on the left. The one on the right is still unoccupied, though. We really need to up our stone cutting game so we can get rid of a lot of these chunks. I'm not going to bother with the 2 upper ones just yet. Instead, I prefer that they start mining out these growing zones so that we can shift our production over to here. On that note, we have hit a bit of a snag when it comes to gene seed implementation. So you may notice that Valorum and Elijah have buffed up quite a bit. Their implants have finally taken root, and so now they look like proper Astartes, or at least initiates. I tried to keep some resemblance to their original look, but just cleaned them up a little bit so they look a little bit less cartoony. And they are currently, let's see, at 8 for Elijah and 10 for Valorum. The reason why Elijah is not caught up to Valorum yet, and why they're not further along than they might otherwise be, is because I'm running out of medicine, industrial medicine. Oh, I do have some neutromine, though. I did not know, or I did not recall that I bought that. Oh, I have a lot of it, actually. So what I was getting at regarding the growing is that even though we are potentially capable of growing neutromine or neutro leaf to produce industrial medicine, I don't actually have anybody skilled enough to do it. So we've been growing heal root, which is great for just, you know, day-to-day stuff, but not useful for surgery. So I prefer to use this for any sort of treatment. But when we're actively operating on people and implanting organs, what we actually need is industrial medicine, which again we can produce through neutro leaf, but when I try to do it, it says that we require a skill of 12. And it turns out the best I currently have is 10. So there's no point in doing that right now. We're going to stick with heal root. But anyways, the plan is, again, eventually to transition this on over down here with maybe a few additional growing plots. We'll try to get some more help on that front, so I'm going to keep an eye out for people that are particularly skilled in cultivation. I don't think any of our prisoners are. Jordana's really the only one we're planning on recruiting. Where is she? It's kind of hard to find because she's not a colonist, though eventually she will be. Yeah, so she doesn't have any skill in that either, so that's not going to help us. And yeah, going through, the 2 people we currently have growing are by far the most skilled, and they're at a 10 and a 9 respectively. So yeah, we're kind of ways off. And then, of course, this area is going to be a training facility with, like, melee fighting dummies and a shooting range. I'd also like to see if I can have like a sparring area. I don't know how easy that'll be to implement, but it'd be cool to have them kind of duke it out with each other to gain experience. Hopefully not injure themselves, but you know. All right. We are still producing gene seed organs. I think we have... Yeah, so we already have a multi-lung and oculobe ready for Elijah. We just haven't been able to install them. And then we have 2 Lyman's ears, and we're soon to have 2 Susan membranes as well. But again, no medicine to install them. So what I might do is just have Gordian continue to crank out the remainder of what we'll need, just so that we have them waiting in the wings. And then whenever we are able to produce enough medicine, we will move on with that. So actually, what I want to look into before we do anything else is there should be a... Where is it? This is not the version where I can search. So the drug lab. Let's make it out of steel. And I'm hoping this is where we can produce medicine from. I forgot that I had all of that neutroamine, so I didn't do this sooner. But now that I have seen it, we may as well try to make use of it. And hopefully that can at least temporarily resolve our issue. All right, so where is this mission? Let's take a look at the map. It's actually not that far, but it is effectively through a mountain range, which means it's going to take us quite a while to get there. It also could be quite nasty. The threat is unknown, so it's not really going to give us a lot of information regarding how many enemies we're going to have to deal with. They are Necrons, so this, again, could be quite nasty. So we're going to need to send a lot of people. I'm thinking the majority of our fighting force is going to have to go, which makes me a little bit nervous because then there's effectively nobody to defend the base. So I'm thinking maybe we'll keep like Endymion back, Gordian, so he can continue working on what he works on. And then I don't know if I want to send the scouts or not. It's gonna be a big group, but let's see here. So form our caravan. We're going here. It says it's going to take a week. We know it won't take that long, but it is still going to be a couple days. All right, so we'll start from the bottom. We'll have Thule lead this expedition. I think we're going to leave Martellus too. So Martellus and Gordian will stay back, and they can, of course, help defend the base if need be. Camisa, same deal. I'm going to send Orion. I'm going to send Cyrus. We'll send Ariston. Endymion, I think, can stay. We'll send Tarkus. We'll send Antaeus. Michaelis. And I think Demetrius and Aramis are going to go as well. So, again, the majority of our fighting force. Am I missing anybody? It would have been nice if Valorum and Elijah were ready to go. I could send them as well, or at least feel better about having some defense at the base. But this is looking like everybody. Okay, so as far as supplies are concerned, we're not going to bring any of that, because they can't eat it, or at least in terms of bill, they can't. They're not allowed to. So we'll send them with like 200 corn, just so they have some food. But again, they're going to be fine. And let's say 25 herbal medicine. Honestly, might even want to send more than that. I don't have that much though. So 25 is going to have to do. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I don't think there's anything else we would want to send them with. God, that's a lot of bodies. Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me. Have an extra range shield belt there. That's interesting. Okay, so let's send them. Oh, cool. And it's going to take about 3 days rather than a week. So off they go. Or at least very shortly. So the moment I unpaused, apparently the game froze. It's weird because the ticks per second is still at 60. So the game is still processing, but nobody will move. So generally this is recoverable. I'm going to save just because otherwise I'm going to have to redo all the caravan stuff. Hopefully that won't be necessary. But if I save and restart the game, I think that will resolve it. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back and things appear to be working. So that is good news. Fingers crossed that that is the only hiccup that we have today. And I guess we'll let these guys get traveling. Gordian just finished up the gene seed organs that we asked him to, so I think we'll go ahead and queue up another batch. So we just did these two, meaning the melanochrome and the oolitic kidney will be next. And, you know, since we're not actively implanting these, I don't see any reason to pause. We have plenty of human meat at this point, so like wasting a little bit if we have to craft another organ because there was a failed surgery or something isn't that big a deal, whereas it was before. So we may as well just have him produce everything that we'll need for those two fledgling Marines. So that's, again, every organ that will get them to the point where they can join the Scouts. The black carapace we don't need to worry about just yet because the Scouts don't get a black carapace. And I think we have some already produced for Aramis and Demetrios, so we have plenty of time to worry about that later. Kono is about to knock on out this drug lab as well, so fingers crossed that the neutramine can be turned into medicine from here. And it looks like it can be. So we need 1 herbal medicine, 1 neutramine, and 3 cloth, which is actually quite steep. But we desperately need this stuff, so I think it is what it is. Interesting. So we can make neutramine from psychoid leaves and herbal medicine, but I think that is a vanilla thing because I don't see a mod attached. Whereas the neutral leaf, I think, will let us basically harvest neutramine directly. So we'll probably go that route. Anywho, let's do this. We'll say do 25 times. How about that? So we'll make 25 medicine. Let's get somebody moderately skilled to do it. And that'll get us at least enough to continue our surgeries. It is going to cut into our herbal medicine a bit, but that is replaceable, though it is growing quite slow. So it just dawned on me, or more accurately, I just noticed, actually, why is it so cold in here, first of all? Indoors, 8, indoors, 12. So this thing's not doing its job, clearly. Let's target a higher temperature. Of course, like, it's quite cold in here, but I would think, you know what? That is held open now, isn't it? So we don't need to do that anymore. We're not... That was held open originally because we were keeping the prisoners in here, but that's no longer necessary. Do me a favor and just walk through there so it's going to fix itself. There we go. All right, as you were. Anywho, the drug lab, or more accurately our medicine bill, requires... Ah, right, so that was self-imposed. I was going to say there was a crafting skill that wasn't being met by anybody. That's why it wasn't getting done. But that was actually my fault because I set it to 10 here. But it actually only required a 4. So, what I'm going to do, just to make sure it gets done quickly and efficiently, is we're actually going to put these on pause. I'm going to suspend these real quick. Because our friend Gordian here is the only one left in the base who meets that requirement. So I'm going to ask him to produce drugs. And I believe he's going to do it one at a time, which is really unfortunate. We can't do batches. There's no bill for that. But it is quite quick with him doing it, so... At least that's good. Now that I think about it, I think Gordian would be a good candidate for that. We had a ranged shield belt somewhere right here. I'm not going to interrupt him right now, but since he is a melee fighter and he is quite critical to this whole operation, it'd be a real shame if anything happened to him. So having a little bit of additional protection, I think, makes a lot of sense. Granted, because those are ranged shield belts, we could put them on anybody. They don't need to be a melee-focused fighter. I just find that the melee fighters tend to be in a lot more danger than people who are strictly ranged because they can kind of hide in cover. So while I wasn't paying attention, the first of our little rooms here has been dug out. I'm just going to have them continue digging. Ooh, where is this? Let's mark that for deconstruction. Jumping back over here. Let's have all of this mined out, and we'll make a little walkway for them to get through there. I'm still deciding exactly how the pathing through this is going to work, but for now, I think it's fine to have them do something like that. In fact, it probably makes more sense to do something like this. We'll just leave a pillar for now. All right, Gordian, that absolute beast, has finished, I think, 18 of the medicine he was queued up to do. So he's taken a break, a well-deserved one. I think since we have a bit of medicine now, I can let him get back to work on this. Obviously, we'll need to continue making more, but that's a good start. I feel comfortable now, you know, having some more surgeries. So Elijah is up next. We need to get the 9 and 10 components installed still. So the multi-lung and the oculobe. We'll queue both of those up. And let's ask him to rest until healed. Valorum, since you don't want your cohort mate getting killed during surgery, why don't you clean this room out? God, it is filthy in here. And Endymion, can you clean this area? Oh God, it's really bad in there too. Come on, help me out here. There's still a bit of dirt. I think you created that actually. And you're installing multi-lung, great. Looks like our team is about halfway to their destination. Fingers crossed that they continue to move and that we don't have another weird stuck on the world map situation. Valorum, please. Oh, God damn it. Please keep cleaning. I just realized I fully intended to send Avitus on this caravan mission. That's unfortunate, but I suppose he's pretty good at defending the base too, so I would have appreciated his firepower on this assault team, but, you know, not the biggest deal. Looks like both of Elijah's surgeries went off without a hitch. And at the rate Gordian is going, we'll probably have the next set of organs ready. In fact, the melanochrome is already finished. So we'll let him knock out both oolytic kidneys. By the time he's done with that, I imagine Elijah will be up and about again, and we can have Valorum hop on the operating table, and we'll get the next two going with him. I actually queued up armor for them, but Martellus decided to take it all the way to one work left and then leave it. So what are you doing that's more important than that? You're cutting limestone blocks. I did say that that was something that needed to be done, so fair play to you for actually hopping on it, but I feel like, you know, maybe you could have finished this first. I'm going to go ahead and mark these for hauling as well. Okay, so Elijah is up and about. And how far did he get with this? He finished one of them. All right, so there is our first armor. I'm just going to forbid it right here. So I made scout sniper armor for both of these two. These two being Valorum and Elijah. Again, these are recruits of the shootier variety. I mean, I think they're both very competent in melee, but they are skilled shooters first and foremost. Unlike Aramis and Demetrios. Where's that's gonna be too hard to find you. Yeah, Demetrios. I don't know why I couldn't remember exactly how it's pronounced. Anyways, those two are very melee oriented, so we made them into kind of close combat scouts. These two, since they're more range oriented, we're gonna turn them into range scouts. Maybe not even necessarily snipers, though. Up in the air whether I want to give them bolters, or sniper rifles. Okay, I'm very glad that happened outside. I was very concerned for a second there. It crushed some stuff. Not a big deal. As long as it doesn't crush people or very rare items, we will survive. Alright, so Gordian is virtually finished with that. So let's queue up 11 and 12 here. And he just finished, so you can hop into bed. What are you working on now? Yeah, let's prioritize that, maybe. Interesting. So we have a mission here. Let's see if it shows up. Called Combined Assault. The 1,651st Cadian Regiment is preparing an attack on Kisan 4, a settlement of Shaskawi Toku, the Tau. If you choose to join, they will claim the conquered city. Upon completion, we will receive a Jade Meditation Throne of Masterwork quality. Where is this? That is, I guess, the closest city to us. We just don't really have a way to get there. I would love to join in on this, though. Did it say how much time we have? 0 days. So the other city assault, this one has been going on for like ever, and the one prior to that lasted forever as well. So I think we have quite a bit of time. I'm not gonna have them walk that distance. That would be ridiculous. It took 3 days to go that far. We're talking probably 10 times that distance. So over a quadrum to get there. I mean, we are Space Marines, but that's a lot of walking. So I would like to have some drop pods up and running before we attempt to take part in that. Now, we already have one, so it's just a matter of building a couple others. What do these cost again? 100 plasteel, 250 steel, and 15 components. And then, of course, we need fuel to run them. Now, these don't function like the cargo pods in vanilla. These, I believe, if my scripting works as intended, let's say it that way, if my scripting works as intended, they should be able to take off and land and then take off again without the need of like building any sort of supplementary thing, right? Because these things do have booster engines in them. So theoretically we should be able to use them to like hop between sites. So it's not like we fire them and they're a one-way trip type of thing like the cargo pods are. They don't break open upon landing. At least they shouldn't if my scripting is gonna work out like I thought it should. So we'll find out shortly, or maybe not shortly, but soon enough. Alright, cool. That's another armor done. Both normal quality, huh? I guess he really wasn't too enthused to work on that. Oh, look at Heracus jumping in and helping out. You have no intellectual, otherwise I could have had you work on the drugs. Oh, whatever. That's questionable. Very questionable, because I would argue that all of these slate walls are supports. At least they should be. Also, these granite walls and these slate walls, I think, are close enough that that shouldn't happen, even if none of this was here. So very, very strange that things are starting to cave in on us. A starship went down. The ship shortly before it crashed. Other factions may try to loot the wreck, so you will only have a few days to visit the site. And of course, it happens when all of our people are away. We might be able to, depending on how well this goes, have our guys swing by there on their way home. It's not too far out of their way, and we'd be moving parallel to the mountain, so it shouldn't take that long. And it sounds as though we probably want a fairly beefy combat team to explore it anyways, because other factions will potentially be there. So yeah, something to consider. Of course, if we get a lot of badly wounded people here, then I don't know if it's such a good idea. So something is really bugging out here, because it said a roof just collapsed here. I think it must be the tremors, but it keeps saying it's because it's too far from any support, but it happened like literally adjacent to this wall. So the tremors are causing weird stuff, and I think the notifications are just not reflecting what's actually happening. So how did your surgeries go there, buddy? Oh, God. Well, that actually, like, caved in that time, which is a little bit concerning, because that would have killed somebody. The other one just scuffed up the floor a little bit. But it looks like both of these were installed successfully. How many does that leave you with? 13, 14, 15... And how many were we going to? I forget. Were we bothering with the mucranoid glands? Yeah, we were. We were. The mucranoid gland is the one that can like protect space marines in a vacuum. I was thinking of the Betcher's gland, which we are not going to be doing anymore. Okay, so neuroglottis and mucranoid, right? Is that all he has left? Do you have your oolytic kidney yet? No. So the last one you have is the Susan membrane. What number is that again? That's here. So he has 4 more. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. Probably not going to have all those implanted by the end of this episode, but potentially by the beginning of the next one, because I'll be able to get some done off camera. And of course, Elijah's not far behind, so they'll probably both be ready to deploy as scouts relatively soon. Alright, so Valorma's up and about. Elijah, it's your turn. So let's do 11 and 12. So we've got a little bit of this growing area dug out, and I'm asking them to go ahead and put down some stony soil so that we'll be able to till it and then grow on it, of course. And rather than using the sun lamps that we have over there, I'm going to try these sun columns. They just look a little bit cooler, I think. And I believe they also function as a pillar. So we won't need as many like wall supports in this area. Where did you collapse? Oh, come on, right in the middle of the walkway. It looks like Gordian just finished all of his crafting bills. Did we produce muconoid glands? I feel like he probably didn't, but honestly, it's not that big a deal. We'll get there eventually. Let's queue up the next set for you. So that's going to be 13 and 14. It looks like we do have some muconoids, so he must have. So melanochrome and oolitic kidney are next. How are we doing on medicine? Not great, but we have some. Oh, caught you there. You almost ended up with that oolitic kidney planted in your head. With my luck, it would have been like Heracus coming along to do the surgery too. Alright, well, with him in the correct bed, things went off without a hitch. So that just leaves Neuroglottis and the muconoid for him. And of course, Elijah will need the ones that he just received, plus those two as well. And we already have armor for them, so the next thing is going to be weapons. I suppose I should queue those up now. How are we doing on plasteel, by the way? I haven't looked in a long time. Looks like components are doing good. Advanced components are always going to be a little bit tough to come by, but 20 is probably as good as we can expect. I'm in the wrong category. 900. Wow, that is actually quite a lot of plasteel, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. Oh, I actually didn't make them headsets either. Let's get 2 scout headsets. Oh, I didn't mean to move those up. 2 scout headsets, just because they do actually function as helmets, even though they don't look like it. So a stray shot to the dome will at least have to go through a little bit of steel. I think I went right past the sniper rifle, didn't I? No, I didn't. I think eventually we'll have to get somebody a stalker bolter. That would be pretty cool, but for now, we want the Astartes sniper rifles. Only 40 plasteel apiece. Those aren't too bad. Let's get 2 of those. Alright, so these guys just arrived at the battlefield. What kind of situation are we dealing with here? Alright, so they've got okay numbers. And honestly, the Necrons are not as well represented as I was kind of expecting. So, I mean, I'm still glad I sent this many people. These guys are going to melt, like, immediately upon contact with the enemy. But I feel pretty good about our force being able to deal with this force, even on our own. Granted, I would have liked some kind of cover to utilize. But, they only have a couple shooty boys. Most of these are going to be melee only. So the flayed ones, of course, only do melee. Granted, you know, probably don't want to do melee with them. And then the Wraith is going to be the same deal. But these guys, the Tomb Spiders, are pretty nasty. But they actually have a melee Tomb Spider too. So, yeah, not a whole lot of shooting capabilities there, but they can still do some damage. Let's start moving in this general direction. Most of the melee focused people are going to rush them, and that should give us the opportunity to kind of come in on the flank here. You know what? One giant Death Star of bolters and bolt pistols might not be such a bad idea, especially because nobody's firing back at us right now. So we'll just come in on the flank and amass our fire. And it seems to be working quite well, actually. They held better than I was expecting. I did not think that the guard, at least in this game, was going to be able to face tank a bunch of Necron Wraiths charging at them. But they definitely did it. Relations administrative change from 1 to -37. God damn it. You guys friendly fired a bunch of people. And now they're hostile. Are they attacking us? You guys are worthless. Whatever, get rid of that. Pull back. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to shoot Necrons, do it from far enough away where you're not going to kill guardsmen. They just obliterated him. Well, they still gave us our reward. That was kind of them. Let's get in here and try to put some fires out. And we'll try to keep these guardsmen from burning to death at the very least. I can't tell if we're like shooting them while they're on the ground. But they are definitely hostile. Put out that fire on the food. The problem is the Necrons will keep getting back up. So, let's see. We might do a little bit of triage here. You're going to die. Jesus Christ. The Pistol of Baal did quite a lot of damage to this dude. I mean, a lot of it is these placeholders for the gene seed organs. So they, you know, don't really mean anything. But that's a limb gone, another one in tatters, another one gone, rib cage cracked, spine completely shattered. He's also out a lung and a kidney. Yeah. The friendly fire was not kind to Caldwell. Oh, sorry. She. Yeah, your brain is gone. A lot of your limbs are gone. Brain and heart completely destroyed. No pulse. Yeah, not surprised. Your heart's destroyed. So even if we tried to save you, not going to happen. It's interesting. Oh, yeah. There it is. No pulse. Well, goddamn did we botch that. But you know what? From a lore perspective, that's probably the most accurate thing we could have done. Because in Dawn of War Dark Crusade, the Space Marines and the Imperial Guard are not friends with each other. They're actually actively fighting. And this seems like a good a reason as any for that to finally come to fruition in this playthrough. So a little bit of stray bolter fire killed quite a lot of guardsmen. And that seems to be what finally caused us to come to blows. What kind of gun is that? Heavy SMG? Is that vanilla? I don't know. Right. So we're done here. We took absolutely no damage, which is great. Means we can head directly onto this. Let's reform our caravan. We're going to go there. Bring everybody. I'm not going to rescue any of these people. I think most of them are dead or dying anyways. I guess I should look and see if any of them are... I mean, now that we're already hostile, right? I guess I may as well just see who's here. Because, you know, frankly, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to get upset at me for capturing their people and turning them into Space Marines or Tech Priests. Animals. No, I haven't seen like a single good plant person. Let's see. You're missing a leg. The problem is a lot of these people are so badly injured that it's going to be problematic to get them anywhere. Iron stomach, no. 22, you're pretty useless though. She's pretty solid, but I don't really need animals or social for that matter. Everybody we have can do social. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave them all to die. Okay. We'll reform our caravan. We're going here. As far as items are concerned, those are basically destroyed. But I will take... Oh, those are ours. Okay, I will take this Gladius. We can maybe make use of that. The Flaying Talons, I don't particularly care about. These are bio-coded, so they're useless. Stun guns are kind of interesting because I might be able to give them to people, not necessarily people, but like tech priests around the base who need to keep prisoners in line, but aren't necessarily going to be, you know, combat facing. The rest of these, I don't think I care about. The launcher is kind of interesting. Yeah, I could make use of a launcher, probably. Shield belt, but not a ranged shield belt, so I'm not that interested. Wow, honestly, it's all kind of crap. How many Necrons can we drag back? Oh, actually quite a lot. Give me both dead wraiths. How many of these guys? We can take all of it. It's gonna slow us down, but we have a lot of carry capacity. I think that would work out just fine. It only slowed us down by about 1/10 of a day, so not a big deal. So part of the reason we're struggling to grow, well, really anything in here, is the temperature. So I'm gonna put 2 of these down, 1 on each side of the door. We'll try to get it to a nice comfortable 25 Celsius in here, and hopefully that will get us cranking out the herbal medicine, because right now that's, I think, actually the biggest limiting factor in us being able to produce medicine. We have, how much right now? 30, so we burnt through more than half of what we had. Granted, these guys have 25 with them, so we'll get all that back unless they lose it for some reason. Neutromine we have like over 100 of, so that's not a problem. Cloth I think we also have quite a lot of. Less than 300. A lot of what we have is like random leathers. A lot of it orc and Kroot and Tau. But yeah. Still plenty, potentially. Hopefully 2 of these is enough to do it. We've got a lot of rooms with these set up, and the rooms are still quite cold. So I don't know that they're that effective. But they're very convenient to place, so I'm hoping that just having 2 of them will be enough to do it. I mean, the temperature is climbing. It was at, what, 3? Now it's at 6? 7? Okay, yeah. It's working. I don't know how well it's going to work. We'll see what it caps out at, but at least it is trending in the right direction. Oh, thank God the tremors just ended. Valorum's also up on his feet, so let's get Elijah queued up for his next batch of implants. So 13 and 14. And we'll ask him to rest until healed. And where were we at with the actual industrial medicine? Okay, so we'll have enough to get them ready to deploy, and then we'll basically be out of industrial medicine. But I think it's worth burning through what we have left to get them up and running, because we have herbal medicine, we have glitter world medicine. If like we're desperate to treat somebody, we don't necessarily need industrial medicine to do that. Elijah's up, so let's get Valorum going. So 15 and 16. And his armor is already ready to go, so we'll just have to wait on the weapons. But that is perfectly fine. It'd also be nice to get them combat knives or something. Right now they're carrying these cattle prods, which are great for dealing with prisoners that we don't want to kill. But out in the field, we want to be using lethal force. So, something to consider. I don't know that we have the bench for that, though. I think a machining table is not the right one. I think we need the electric smithy. Yeah, we're only going to get guns and stuff here. Actually, what was queued up there? Oh, shred mechanoids forever. Yeah. Please do that. Oh, dear God. Stop it. Well. And then you burnt industrial medicine treating him. Dear God. I can't take my eyes off these guys for a second. Okay, let's try this. That's no longer a medical bed. You need to rescue him. Thank you. I guess you can still attempt to... What are you doing right now? You're tending. What are you tending to? You're tending to these. Okay. Do not waste industrial medicine on that. Okay. Now then, let's put this back to industrial. Gordian, I'm going to give you one more chance. Looks like you're already on it. What are you doing? No. Start over. Industrial medicine. He was grabbing the herbal medicine, and that makes me wonder if we could have been using herbal medicine this whole time. But at the same time, I worry about what our surgery success chances would look like if he were to do that. Okay, so... the mucranoid is in, but he did botch the other one, so we're going to be down an implant now. So we need another neuroglottis. Actually, I wonder if... Can you just implant it now? We do have another one lying around. Yeah. So we'll just need to make another one before Elijah's up. Okay. Astartes sniper rifle. Where are you? Who made it and where are they running off to? Oh, you're going to put it on the shelf. Fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to... Oh, the other one's already done. Awesome. So their weapons are ready. Everything is ready except for their internal organs, I guess. That's herbal medicine. I'm very concerned. But it appeared to work. He's even smiling about it. So, yeah, Neurogloss, he is good to go. He is officially an initiate. And I think he just went to grab some meat to make the replacement. Yeah. Sure did. I really want to speed this up, so I'm going to try to get Valorum out of this bed, if possible. I think if I mark it as not medical, and then I mark this one as medical, I should be able to do what I just did before with the basically the reverse direction. So we can grab him, move him over here to rest. We don't necessarily need the stats that this bed has for that part of this process. Oh, and it looks like he didn't even need to wait. Anyways. So, let's make this one medical again. Let's make this one not medical again. Elijah, you have a couple more to go as well. Oh, just these two, yeah. So let's queue those up. Do we have enough medicine to finish this? No. No, because our friend Gordian burned through it all. He doesn't have any in his inventory. So... I think I'm willing to burn a bit of Glitterworld medicine. You know what? Before I do that, it looked like he was able to use herbal medicine for this. So let's try it. Let's do some science. And Gordian, I need you to operate. Yeah, no, it's not going to let me. I guess we'll use it. It pains me too, but we should still have more than 10 left. I think we'll have 11 left. Wait, no, don't do that. Under requires... Oh, god damn it. No, I need you to do this. Heracus, don't do it. Gordian, do it. Granted, with the Glitterworld medicine, I don't think Heracus could fail, but still, let's have the best person for the job do it. Also, the most lore-friendly person for the job. Look at Kono cleaning without me having to force it. That is a beautiful sight. So that was the first one. Waiting on the second. Waiting on the second. Okay, he's working on it. It looks like our caravan arrived at their other destination as well. So before anything ridiculous happens, I'm going to save. I feel like I'm playing Skyrim where I have to quick save every 5 minutes. Okay, can I play now? You guys are here. There's nothing here. Settle, split, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's nothing here. God damn it. Why does this always happen? Alright, go home. Alright, so Elijah is done. As soon as they're both... Well, Valorum can get up at any point. He's just kind of sleeping off the fact that somebody poked a bunch of holes on his insides. Okay, now he's good to go. I guess let's just do it now. Come on over here and put on your stuff for me. Alright, so he's going to pose right there. Let's start with the armor. No, come back, come back. So there he is in his new scout armor. And we'll have him throw on the headset. There he goes. It's a little bit misaligned, but we'll live with it. And then finally, let's go get the rifle. Oh, he's puking his guts out. Great. What are you sick from? Oh, the anesthetic. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. We have put you under like 6 times today, so that is completely fair. So there we go. Our first scout sniper that's not Cyrus. As you were, my friend. Do we want to have him roll with the cattle prod as a... It doesn't look like he can carry the cattle prod as a secondary weapon. Good to know. So, definitely want to go with the knife then. I just need to craft the damn bench for that. So, that would be the old... what would that be? I don't want the large electric smithy. A regular one is probably fine. I'll just put it down here for now. Okay, he's working on it. I thought he got distracted. His pawns are like cats. Sometimes you think they're working on something and they're just like, I'm gonna go eat a sandwich halfway through this project. Do we have enough plasteel to make plasteel knives? That'd be interesting. Let's make 2. We want somebody skilled doing this, and they cost what, 30? Yeah, let's make it out of plasteel. Actually, I have a shit ton of ceramite, don't I? I don't remember which one is better in terms of weapon stats. Let's go plasteel. I have more of it. I'm going to ask you to do that because nobody else is going to do it. And I think it'll take you like, yeah, a matter of seconds probably. So it's a normal quality plasteel knife. Good enough. I'm going to ask you to come equip this as your sidearm. Elijah, it's your turn. Come on over here. Okay, you got a couple seconds there. Just drop that. Drop that. Why do you have a psychic shock lance in your inventory? Yeah, you're gonna have to unload some stuff here, buddy. So put that down. Great job. Shock Lance, also put that down. Great job. Okay. Back over here. We'll get you dressed. Shit, he's already halfway there. Just drop it right there. That's fine. Puking his guts out. Again, these guys have been sedated like several times today, so it's completely understandable that it's having an adverse effect. Alright, so let's check the gear. Cool, cool. Now run on over here, get your knife. And then we'll get your sniper rifle. So next time we need to go on a small mission, we'll probably send Cyrus with those two. It'll be their first mission as a squad. And I think with that, let's go ahead and call it there. I had kept this episode running because I thought we were going to have a little bit of an adventure when we arrived at this thing. And then I could send them home and we'd call it there, but there was no adventure here. There was nothing there. So now that they're walking home, it's going to be quiet for a little while. So I figure this is as good a place to end it as any. Is that? Oh, that's just an incapacitated gun drone. So it's repulsor unit, which is I think what allows it to move, is gone. Therefore, it's just stuck. It's perfectly healthy otherwise. The pistol of ball strikes again. But yeah, it's not going anywhere. Also, what is this? Oh, it's Martellus. Okay. I saw the white dot, and I wasn't sure if that was a pawn or if it was like... sometimes we have visitors. Sometimes healthy, sometimes not. But in this case, it was just one of ours. So anywho, let's call it there for today. We'll continue expanding the base. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more of a growing zone established over here next time around. And I'm looking forward to building out the training facility. A lot of our pawns don't have anything to do most of the day. You can see there's a lot of idle people here. Hopefully we can remedy that by upping their combat training priority. Again, in the lore, Space Marine is going to spend most of their day actively training. And we'll try to emulate that here. Of course, we need them to do a little bit more than that to keep this base running. But clearly there are plenty of people with plenty of free time on their hands, so we want to keep them occupied. And so I want to build a really nice firing range here, and again, some cool like melee training facilities. We'll see how that works. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Rimworld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.